Hello, friends, family, and countrymen. Nicholas here. It is nighttime. It's 8 o'clock at night, once again. Not my fault that the sun won't go away. It's raining right now, and not super hard or anything, but I'm so confused because you guys can kind of hear it, I think. But I'm so confused because, it's supposed to be much darker than it actually is. So I don't even know. But anyways, I'll digress. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comic culture, which is something that obviously I spend a lot of time in. I'm a huge nerd. I know plenty of backstories and forward stories, and I like to say that I'm a strong thinker when it comes to comic books and comic book movies and such. But being a comic book nerd is really difficult sometimes because, like any subdivision of people, they're the ones that make it harder for everyone else. So, when you say comic book nerd, people automatically think of the Simpsons comic book guy, which it's not a bad thought because that is how quite a few comic book nerds are, but there's also a lot more comic book nerds who are just literally regular people. And on top of that, comic books themselves have I personally have an issue with quite a few comic books. Whether it's very inappropriate style choices to mid-run changes. I love a comic book that stays true to itself, stays in the same storyline until it ends, or stays in the same art style. If there's one thing that bothers me more than anything else in the world, it's when there's a change in art style. And that's not even just comic books, that's cartoons, movies, anything like that. The Disney Channel show American Dragon Jake Long. In the middle of a season, they completely changed their art style, and it was A, confusing, and B, the show just got worse. It's the same with Teen Titans. Teen Titans had a structured, really well put art style, and then when they did Teen Titans Go, apparently losing the art style also made them lose their freaking minds with that show. It's not a good show. Teen Titans Go is not a good show. But whatever. So, another thing that really bothers me with comic books and the comic culture is the pricing on certain things. So, as much as I love mainstream comics, I also love indie comics. And when I say indie, I mean basically everything outside of Marvel and DC, because at this point, that's what is considered indie. Is if it's not Marvel and it's not DC, or one of their respectively owned sub things, like Vertigo is a part of DC now, then it's indie, which I don't particularly agree with, but whatever. I'm fine with calling it how it is. So there could be a really good series that I thoroughly enjoy in the indie world, but once it goes out of circulation, it's extremely hard to find it for a good price. So if you were on my Twitter a few days ago, you'll know that I was doing some research for a short film that I'm working on, and I was looking for a specific comic book. I'm not going to name it yet, because I'm going to do a full video on it at some point, probably soon. But I don't know. I was looking for these books, and the cheapest for a single issue was, I think, $17.99 for a single issue, which to me is ridiculous, honestly. Their market value was $3.25, I think. No, $4.99. Is that right? I don't even know. I don't remember their market value. This has been a while. I think the last time that they published something in the series was 2012 or 2011. So, with the exception of there was a 5-chapter spin-off. But, anyways, back to the point at hand. Comics, while I love them, they bother me. And when I talk about pricing, I'm not talking about limited edition, like only 20 copies made of it, or like the very first #1 Action Comics. I'm not talking stuff like that. I'm talking widely distributed series. I will continue to say series until I actually look that up, but I never think about it until I'm in the car talking to you guys. Man. Okay, sorry. Anyways. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about comic book nerd culture, I guess. So yeah. So that's all I have for you guys today. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And yeah, I will talk to you guys again later. Adios de huevos.